Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Casual American English. I'm Sarah, your main host, and Mike is here with me today.
Hey everyone, it's good to be back.
Today, we're going to have a real and natural conversation about something that everyone has, a daily routine. We're going to talk about what we do from the moment we wake up until the moment we go to bed. We'll talk about morning habits, breakfast, work, transportation, lunch, exercise, household chores, evening activities, and sleep.
So this is going to be a normal conversation, right? Not just a list of vocabulary words.
Exactly. This lesson is different from our vocabulary videos. Today, you'll hear how people naturally talk about their everyday lives. We'll use common expressions, simple questions, and natural answers.
And our listeners can compare their routines with ours.
That's right. While you listen, think about your own life. Ask yourself, what time do I wake up? What do I usually eat for breakfast? How do I go to work or school? What do I do in the evening? At the end of the podcast, we'll ask you 10 easy comprehension questions. We'll also explain some useful expressions from our conversation.
Sounds good.
Let's begin with the morning. Mike, what time do you usually wake up on weekdays?
On weekdays, I usually wake up at around 6:30 in the morning.
6:30? That's pretty early.
It is, but I need time to get ready before work. I don't like waking up and immediately running out of the house.
I understand that. I also like having a little quiet time in the morning. Do you use an alarm?
Yes, I definitely need an alarm. Actually, I use 2 alarms.
2 alarms?
Yes, the first alarm goes off at 6:20 and the second one goes off at 6:30.
Why do you need 2?
Because I usually turn off the first alarm and go back to sleep.
That sounds dangerous.
It is. Sometimes I tell myself, I'll just close my eyes for 5 more minutes. Then, suddenly, 20 minutes have passed.
I think a lot of people do that. The button that lets you sleep for a few more minutes is called the snooze button. Do you press the snooze button every morning?
Almost every morning. I know it's not a good habit, but when the alarm goes off, my bed feels extremely comfortable.
Mine too. I usually wake up at 7, but I try not to use the snooze button. I put my phone on a table across the room.
Why do you put it across the room?
Because then, I have to get out of bed to turn off the alarm. Once I'm standing, it's easier to stay awake.
That's actually a smart idea.
It works, most of the time. But sometimes I turn off the alarm, walk back to my bed, and lie down again.
So your plan isn't perfect.
No plan is perfect. What is the first thing you do after you wake up?
The first thing I do is check the time. Then, unfortunately, I usually check my phone. I look at my messages, emails, and sometimes social media.
How long do you spend on your phone?
I try to spend only 5 minutes, but sometimes it becomes 15 or 20 minutes.
That happens very easily. You open your phone to check one message and then you start watching videos or reading the news.
Exactly. What about you? Do you check your phone when you wake up?
I used to, but I'm trying to change that habit. Now I usually drink a glass of water first, then I open the curtains and make my bed.
Do you make your bed every morning?
Almost every morning. It only takes 1 or 2 minutes and it makes the room look cleaner.
I agree, but I don't always do it. Sometimes I look at my bed and think, I'm going to sleep in it again tonight, so why should I make it?
That's a common excuse.
I know.
After you get out of bed, what do you do next?
I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, wash my face, and take a shower.
Do you shower every morning?
Usually, yes.
A morning shower helps me wake up. If I don't take a shower, I feel sleepy for the first half of the day. Do you take a long shower?
Not really. I probably spend about 10 minutes in the shower. Then I get dressed.
Do you choose your clothes in the morning or do you prepare them the night before?
I choose them in the morning, which is sometimes a mistake.
Why?
Because when I'm tired, I can't decide what to wear. I'll look at 2 shirts for 5 minutes, even though they look almost the same.
I understand. I often choose my clothes the night before, especially when I have an important meeting. It saves time in the morning.
That's a good habit.
How long does it take you to get ready? From the time I wake up until I'm completely ready, it usually takes about 45 minutes.
That's not bad.
It depends on the day. If I wash my hair, it takes longer. If I'm working from home, it takes less time.
When you work from home, do you wear normal work clothes?
I try to. I don't wear anything formal, but I also don't stay in my pajamas all day.
Why not? Pajamas are comfortable.
They are, but when I stay in pajamas, I don't feel productive. Getting dressed tells my brain that the day has started.
That makes sense. I once worked from home for an entire day while wearing pajamas. By 3 o'clock, I felt like I had done nothing, even though I had finished a lot of work.
Let's talk about breakfast. Do you eat breakfast every morning?
I try to, but I sometimes skip it when I'm running late.
What do you usually eat?
On a normal day, I have eggs and toast. Sometimes I eat oatmeal with bananas. If I'm in a hurry, I just grab a granola bar and eat it on the way to work.
Do you drink coffee?
Absolutely. Coffee is one of the most important parts of my morning routine.
How many cups do you drink?
Usually 2 cups in the morning. Sometimes I drink another cup in the afternoon.
3 cups sounds like a lot.
It probably is, but I don't put much sugar in it.
That doesn't completely solve the problem.
Let me believe that it does. What do you usually have for breakfast?
I usually eat something simple. I might have yogurt with fruit, oatmeal, or toast with peanut butter. Sometimes I make scrambled eggs.
Do you cook breakfast every day?
No. During the week, I prefer quick meals. On weekends, I sometimes make a bigger breakfast. I might make pancakes, eggs, potatoes, and coffee.
That sounds good.
It is, but then I have a lot of dishes to wash.
That's the bad part about cooking. The food takes 20 minutes to eat, but the kitchen takes 40 minutes to clean.
Exactly. Do you eat while watching something?
Sometimes I watch the news, but I usually listen to a podcast.
What kind of podcast?
Usually something about sports, technology, or personal finance. What about you?
I like quiet mornings, so I don't always listen to anything. Sometimes I just sit near the window, drink my tea, and plan my day.
You sound very organized.
I sound organized. That doesn't mean I'm always organized.
You said you plan your day. How do you do that?
I usually write a short to-do list. I write down the most important tasks I need to finish.
Do you write it on paper or use an app?
I prefer paper. There's something satisfying about crossing a task off a list.
I agree. Sometimes I add an easy task that I've already finished, just so I can cross it off.
That is cheating.
Maybe, but it makes me feel productive.
How many things do you usually put on your list?
Too many. I'll write 15 tasks, finish 5, and then feel disappointed.
That's why I try to choose only 3 main tasks. I can have smaller tasks too, but I ask myself, what are the 3 things that really need to get done today?
That's probably more realistic.
It helps me focus. When the list is too long, everything feels important. Then you don't know where to begin.
That happens to me at work. I have emails, phone calls, meetings, and reports. I start one thing, then I remember another thing, and suddenly I'm working on 5 different tasks.
Do you finish them?
Eventually, but I'm trying to stop switching between tasks so much.
That's called multitasking. Many people think multitasking saves time, but sometimes it makes everything take longer.
Exactly. Now I try to finish one task before I begin the next one.
What time do you leave home for work?
I usually leave at about 7:45. My work starts at 8:30.
How do you get there?
I drive. If traffic is light, it takes about 25 minutes. But if traffic is heavy, it can take 45 minutes or even an hour.
That's a big difference.
Yes, traffic is unpredictable. Some mornings, the road is clear. Other mornings, there is an accident, construction, or just too many cars.
What do you do while you're driving?
I usually listen to music, a podcast, or an audiobook. I try not to listen to anything too relaxing because I'm already sleepy.
Do you ever talk to yourself in the car?
Sometimes.
What do you talk about?
I might practice something I need to say at work. Or I imagine a conversation that may never happen.
A lot of people do that. The car can be a good place to practice English because you can speak aloud without feeling embarrassed.
That's true. You can describe what you see. The light is red. There's a bus in front of me. Traffic is moving slowly.
Exactly. How do you get to work, Sarah? It depends. Some days I work from home. When I go to the office, I usually take the train.
Do you prefer the train or driving?
I prefer the train because I don't have to worry about traffic or parking. I can read, listen to something, or answer a few messages.
Is the train usually crowded?
During rush hour, yes. Sometimes I have to stand for the whole trip.
How long is the journey?
Around 30 minutes. Then I walk about 10 minutes from the station to the office.
At least you get some exercise.
That's true. What is the first thing you do when you arrive at work?
I put my bag down, turn on my computer, and check my schedule. Then I usually get another cup of coffee.
Another cup?
Yes, but it's a small cup.
Of course it is.
After that, I check my email. I try to answer urgent messages first, then I begin my main task for the morning.
What kind of work do you do?
I work for a company that provides software services to small businesses. I help customers when they have questions or technical problems.
So you talk to a lot of people during the day.
Yes, I talk to customers by phone, email, and online chat. Some days are calm, other days are extremely busy.
What makes a day difficult?
Usually, it's when several customers have the same problem at the same time. Sometimes, there's a system issue and everyone starts calling.
How do you stay calm?
I take one problem at a time. I listen carefully, take notes, and explain the solution as clearly as possible.
Do customers ever get angry?
Yes, sometimes. Usually, they're frustrated because they can't finish their work. I try not to take it personally.
That's important. People may be upset about the situation, not necessarily upset with you.
Exactly. What is your workday like?
My day includes writing, planning lessons, recording, editing, and answering messages. I also spend time researching topics and preparing examples.
Do you have many meetings?
Some days I do. I don't mind short meetings, but long meetings can be tiring.
Especially when the meeting could have been an email.
Exactly.
That happens everywhere.
Do you take breaks during the morning?
I try to take a short break around 10:30. I stand up, stretch, refill my water bottle, and sometimes walk outside for a few minutes.
That sounds healthy.
It helps. If I sit for 3 or 4 hours without moving, my back starts to hurt.
Mine too. When I work from home, I sometimes forget to take breaks
Why?
because there's no natural interruption. At the office, someone might stop by your desk or you might walk to another room. At home, I can sit in the same place for hours.
Do you set a timer?
Sometimes, I'll set a timer for 50 minutes and work without checking my phone. Then I take a 10-minute break.
What do you do during the break?
I stand up, drink water, open a window, or walk around the room. I try not to spend the whole break looking at my phone.
That's difficult.
Very difficult. A 5-minute phone break can easily become a 30-minute phone break. What time do you normally eat lunch?
Usually around 12:30.
Do you bring food from home?
Most days, yes. I often bring leftovers from dinner.
That's convenient and usually cheaper.
Exactly. I might bring rice and chicken, pasta, soup, or a sandwich. Sometimes I also bring fruit or yogurt,
Do you ever buy lunch?
maybe once or twice a week. There are a few restaurants near my office. My coworkers and I sometimes get burgers, tacos, or salads.
Which one do you choose most often?
Probably tacos.
Do you eat at your desk?
Sometimes, but I try not to. If I eat at my desk, I keep working and don't really enjoy the meal.
I agree. A lunch break should feel like a real break.
What do you do for lunch?
When I'm at the office, I usually bring food. When I'm working from home, I make something simple. I might make a sandwich, heat up soup, or prepare a quick salad.
Do you ever order food?
Sometimes, especially if I'm extremely busy or if there's nothing in the kitchen. But ordering food is expensive, so I try not to do it too often.
That's true. The food may cost $15, but after taxes, delivery fees, and a tip, it becomes $25.
Exactly.
Do you drink soda with lunch?
Not usually. I mostly drink water. Sometimes I have iced tea.
I'm trying to drink less soda.
How is that going?
Not very well.
At least you're honest. How do you feel after lunch?
Usually sleepy. Around 2 o'clock, my energy goes down.
That's common. Some people call it the afternoon slump.
That describes it perfectly. My eyes feel heavy, and it becomes harder to concentrate.
What do you do to wake yourself up?
Sometimes I drink coffee, but I'm trying not to have caffeine too late. If I drink coffee after 4, I may not sleep well.
That's a good point.
So I usually take a short walk or drink cold water. Sometimes I eat a small snack.
What kind of snack?
Nuts, fruit, crackers, or something sweet if I'm having a difficult day.
Something sweet can definitely improve your mood for a few minutes.
Exactly. What is your afternoon like?
I try to do creative work in the morning when I have more energy. In the afternoon, I usually handle smaller tasks. I answer emails, organize files, review recordings, or prepare my schedule.
That makes sense. Do the difficult work when your mind is fresh.
Yes, but sometimes an urgent task changes the whole plan.
That happens all the time. You can plan your day perfectly, but then one unexpected problem appears.
And suddenly, your to-do list means nothing. What time do you finish work?
I normally finish at 5. Sometimes I stay later if we are very busy.
Do you stop working exactly at 5?
Not always. At around 4:45, I check what I still need to finish. I answer any important messages, write notes for the next day, and clean my desk.
That's a useful habit.
It helps me leave work without worrying that I forgot something. I also make a short list for the next morning.
When you leave the office, can you stop thinking about work?
Not immediately. Sometimes I keep thinking about a difficult customer or an unfinished task during the drive home.
How do you stop?
I usually listen to music. By the time I get home, I feel more relaxed.
It's helpful to have something that separates work time from personal time. Mike,
Yes, the drive home is my transition time. What about you?
when I work from home, it can be difficult because my work and personal life happen in the same space.
So how do you know when the workday is over?
I shut down my computer, clean the desk, and leave the room for a while. Sometimes I go outside for a short walk.
That tells your brain work is finished.
Exactly. What is the first thing you do when you get home?
I take off my shoes, put down my keys, and change into comfortable clothes.
Do you have a special place for your keys?
I do now. I used to leave them in random places and then spend 10 minutes looking for them the next morning.
That's frustrating.
Very frustrating. Now I put them in a small bowl near the door.
That's smart.
After I change my clothes, I usually sit down for about 15 minutes.
Only 15?
That's the plan. But sometimes I sit down, turn on the television, and suddenly an hour has passed.
That's why sitting down can be dangerous.
Exactly. If I have chores to do, I try to do them before I get too comfortable.
What kind of chores?
Laundry, dishes, taking out the trash, cleaning the kitchen, or buying groceries.
Do you do a little cleaning every day or a lot of cleaning once a week?
A little every day. At least that's what I try to do. If I wait until the weekend, the apartment becomes a complete mess.
I agree. 10 or 15 minutes of cleaning every day is easier than spending 3 hours cleaning on Saturday.
Exactly. Do you enjoy cleaning?
I enjoy the result. I don't always enjoy the process.
That's a perfect answer.
Do you exercise after work?
I try to exercise 3 or 4 times a week.
What kind of exercise do you do?
Sometimes I go to the gym. I usually walk on the treadmill, lift weights, and do a few stretching exercises. On other days, I take a long walk outside.
Which do you prefer?
I prefer walking outside, especially when the weather is nice. The gym is useful, but it can feel crowded after work.
That's because everyone goes at the same time.
Exactly. Around 6 o'clock, every machine is being used.
Do you exercise in the morning?
Almost never. I've tried, but I'm not good at waking up early enough.
I prefer morning exercise because if I wait until evening, I may lose motivation.
What kind of exercise do you do?
I usually do a short workout at home. I might do stretching, yoga, or a simple strength workout. Sometimes I go for a walk,
How long do you exercise?
usually 30 minutes. I used to think exercise only mattered if I did it for an hour, but 30 minutes is much better than doing nothing.
Even 10 minutes is better than nothing.
Exactly. The hardest part is often getting started.
Once you begin, you usually feel good.
But before you begin, your brain creates 100 excuses.
I'm too tired. I'll do it tomorrow. I exercised last week.
Last week does not count as today's exercise.
I was afraid you would say that.
What time do you usually eat dinner?
Around 7 or 7:30.
Do you cook every night?
No, I usually cook 3 or 4 times a week. On the other days, I eat leftovers, make something simple, or occasionally order food.
What is your easiest meal?
Pasta. I boil the pasta, heat some sauce, and add vegetables or chicken. It's simple, fast, and filling.
Do you follow recipes?
Sometimes. But I often start with a recipe and then change everything.
Is the food still good?
Most of the time. There have been a few failures.
What was your worst cooking failure?
I once tried to make soup without measuring anything. I added too much salt. It was almost impossible to eat.
What did you do?
I added more water and vegetables, but then I had a huge amount of salty soup.
So you made the problem bigger.
Exactly. What do you usually cook?
I like meals that can be used for more than one day. I might make rice with vegetables and chicken, a large pot of soup, or something in the oven. Then I have lunch for the next day too.
Meal preparation saves a lot of time.
It does. But sometimes I get tired of eating the same thing for 3 days.
That's the problem. On the first day, the food is exciting. On the second day, it's fine. On the third day, You don't want to look at it anymore.
Exactly. Do you eat dinner at the table?
Sometimes. But honestly, I often eat while watching television.
What do you watch?
Usually a comedy show or a sports game. I don't like watching anything stressful while I eat.
That makes sense. What do you normally do after dinner?
First, I clean the kitchen. If I leave the dishes until morning, I regret it.
Me too. Waking up to a dirty kitchen is not a good way to start the day. After cleaning, I usually relax. I might watch television, call a friend, play a video game, or read something online. Do you read books? I try to read before bed.
I don't always read a lot, maybe 10 or 15 pages.
What kind of books do you like?
I like mysteries, biographies, and books about personal development. What about you?
I like novels, psychology books, and sometimes history. I also listen to audiobooks when I'm walking or doing chores.
Audiobooks are convenient. You can learn or enjoy a story while doing something else.
Exactly. Do you spend much time on social media in the evening?
More than I should. I'll tell myself I'm only going to check it for a few minutes. Then I keep scrolling.
How long?
Sometimes an hour.
Do you feel relaxed afterward?
Not really. Sometimes I feel more tired.
That's interesting. We often use our phones because we want to relax, but they don't always make us feel better. I'm trying to put my phone away earlier. What time?
Around 10 o'clock. But I don't always succeed.
Do you prepare anything for the next day before you go to bed?
Yes. I usually pack my lunch, fill my water bottle, and make sure I have clean clothes for work.
Do you check the weather?
Always. The weather decides what I wear and whether I need an umbrella.
That's practical.
I also check my calendar. I don't want to wake up and suddenly discover that I have an early meeting.
Has that happened before?
Yes. One morning, I arrived at work wearing very casual clothes. Then I realized I had an important meeting with a client.
What did you do?
I kept my jacket on for the whole meeting.
Even inside?
Yes, I was uncomfortable, but at least I looked a little more professional.
That's why checking the calendar is important. I also prepare my to-do list for the next day. It helps me stop thinking about work at night.
Because the tasks are written down.
Exactly. I don't have to keep them in my head. What time do you normally go to bed?
I try to go to bed at 11.
You try?
Yes, try is the important word. Sometimes I go to bed at 11:30 or midnight.
Why do you stay up late?
Sometimes I'm watching something interesting. Sometimes I'm using my phone. And sometimes I just don't feel ready for the day to end.
I understand that feeling. After working all day and finishing your responsibilities, the evening feels like your personal time. You don't want to give it up and go to sleep.
Exactly. But then, the next morning, I regret it.
How many hours of sleep do you usually get?
Around 6.5 or 7 hours. I feel better when I get 8.
Most people know they need more sleep, but they still stay up late.
That is definitely true. What time do you go to bed?
Usually around 10:30 or 11. I try to keep the same bedtime during the week.
What do you do before bed?
I wash my face, brush my teeth, prepare my clothes, and read for a few minutes. I try to avoid bright screens right before sleeping.
Does reading help you fall asleep?
Usually. Sometimes I only read 2 pages before my eyes start closing.
That's better than watching videos for an hour.
Definitely. Is your weekend routine very different?
Yes. On Saturday, I usually sleep later. I might wake up around 8:30 or 9.
That's not extremely late.
No, but it feels late compared to 6:30. I usually make a bigger breakfast and take my time. I don't like rushing on Saturday mornings.
What do you do during the day?
I do errands, I buy groceries, clean the apartment, do laundry, and sometimes get a haircut.
That sounds like another work day.
Sometimes it feels that way. But I also meet friends, go to a restaurant, watch a movie, or visit family.
What about Sunday?
Sunday is usually quieter. I try to rest and prepare for the week.
Do you ever get the Sunday evening feeling?
What do you mean?
That uncomfortable feeling when the weekend is ending and you start thinking about Monday.
Yes, definitely. Around 6 o'clock on Sunday evening, I suddenly remember everything I need to do during the week.
How do you handle it?
I prepare my clothes, lunch, and work bag. Then I look at my calendar and make a simple plan. That helps me feel more in control.
That's a good strategy. What is one part of your routine that you want to improve?
I want to stop using my phone immediately after I wake up.
Why?
Because it wastes time and sometimes puts me in a bad mood. If the first thing I see is stressful news or a work email, I start the day feeling anxious.
What would you like to do instead?
I'd like to drink water, stretch, and eat breakfast without looking at my phone.
That sounds like a good plan.
What habit do you want to improve?
I want to take more breaks while I'm working. Sometimes I become so focused that I forget to stand up or eat on time.
That doesn't sound healthy.
It isn't. I'm going to start setting reminders.
Do you think routines are important?
Yes, but I don't think every minute needs to be planned. A routine gives structure to the day. It helps us remember important things and reduces the number of small decisions we have to make.
For example, if you always put your keys in the same place, you don't have to think about where to put them.
Exactly. But routines should also be flexible. Unexpected things happen.
Traffic, illness, family problems, a late meeting, or bad weather.
Right. A useful routine should help your life, not control your life. Mike, let's do a quick challenge. I'll give you a situation, and you tell me what you normally do.
Okay, I'm ready.
You wake up 30 minutes late. What do you skip?
I probably skip cooking breakfast. I grab something simple and eat it on the way.
You arrive at work and have 20 unread emails. What do you do first?
I quickly read the subject lines and answer the urgent emails first.
You feel sleepy at 2 in the afternoon.
I drink water, stand up, and walk for a few minutes.
You come home and the kitchen is messy.
I clean it before I sit down, because if I sit down first, I may never get up.
You plan to exercise, but you feel tired.
I tell myself I only need to exercise for 10 minutes. Usually, once I start, I continue longer.
You're hungry, but there is no food at home.
I check the kitchen one more time, realize there is still nothing, and then order food.
You can't fall asleep.
I put my phone away, turn off the lights, and try to read a boring book.
Why a boring book?
Because an exciting book might keep me awake.
That is actually a good point. Before we finish, let's review some natural expressions you heard today. Expression 1. The alarm goes off. This means the alarm starts making noise. For example, my alarm goes off at 6:30.
Not my alarm opens and not my alarm starts. The natural expression is, my alarm goes off.
Expression 2. I'm running late. This means you are behind schedule and may arrive late. For example, I'm running late so I can't eat breakfast.
You can also say, sorry, I'm running a little late.
Expression 3. I'm in a hurry. This means you need to move or act quickly. For example, I can't talk right now, I'm in a hurry. Expression 4. I grab something to eat. This means you quickly get or prepare food. For example, I usually grab a sandwich for lunch.
It doesn't mean you aggressively grab the food. It simply means you get something quickly.
Expression 5. I take a break. This means you stop working for a short time to rest. For example, I take a 10-minute break in the morning. Expression 6. I get off work. This means you finish work. For example, I get off work at 5.
You can also ask, what time do you get off work?
Expression 7. I run errands. This means you go out to complete small necessary tasks. For example, I need to run errands after work. Errands may include buying groceries, going to the bank, or picking up medicine. Expression 8. I take it easy. This means you relax and avoid doing anything too difficult. For example, I usually take it easy on Sunday. Expression 9. I stay up late. This means you do not go to bed at your normal time. For example, I stayed up late watching a movie. Expression 10. I call it a day. This means you decide to stop working because you have done enough. For example, it's 5 o'clock. Let's call it a day.
That is one of my favorite expressions.
Now we want to hear about your daily routine. Answer these questions in the comments. What time do you usually wake up? What do you eat for breakfast? How do you go to work or school? What do you usually do after work? What is one habit you want to improve?
Try to answer using complete sentences. For example, I usually wake up at 7. I take the bus to work. I want to stop using my phone before bed.
Today, you listened to a natural conversation about daily life and routines. You heard common vocabulary and expressions related to waking up, getting ready, working, eating, exercising, cleaning, relaxing, and sleeping.
You don't need to understand every single word the first time. Listen to the conversation again and notice more details.
You can also pause the video and repeat our sentences aloud. This will help you improve your listening, pronunciation, and speaking skills.
And don't forget to answer the questions in the comments.
Thank you for spending time with us today. Subscribe for more reading lessons, vocabulary practice, real English conversations, and common English mistakes. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mike.
Keep practicing, be patient with yourself, and make English part of your daily routine. We'll see you in the next lesson. Sarah and Mike.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.